Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negro. Now, for the benefit of those of you who are not familiar with the channel or watching this channel for the very first time, the reason why it's called Uncommon Sense is because on this platform we talk about everyday issues where we seek logical solutions. But not everyone uses logic. Um, so that reason it is called Uncommon Sense. I just want to let people know that we're currently live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Now, the reason why we redoing last night's episode due to the fact that I had so many technical difficulties that I decided to redo the broadcast. Of course, I'm going to be talking about some typical topics. Okay. Now, I do want to let everybody know that once again, I'm using the function where if you wish to enter a comment, you must subscribe to the channel. Okay. Uh, so I just want to let everybody know that I appreciate all the love and support that I've received. I wish to thank all my supporters. I wish to thank all those who watch my content on a regular basis. And if you have not done so, what I'm going to ask you to do is to please subscribe, like, and hit the bell notification to all. So therefore, whenever I do prepare content, you will have the opportunity to either catch it live or catch it on the playback. So I'm going to be talking, it's going to be open discussion. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to enter the link should anyone wishes to join the panel. Now, everyone is welcome to enter a comment in the chat. However, if you wish to enter a comment, if you're not a subscriber, you will need to do that. Okay? It's not going to cost you anything to subscribe to my channel. Okay? And again, this is an attempt to try to limit the trolls from entering inappropriate comments in the chat. And I said limit because trolls can still subscribe and enter their stupidity. At least this way, if they want to comment, well, guess what? They're gonna have to subscribe to the channel, like it or not. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is the first thing I'm gonna be talking about is monkeypox. Okay, but actually, no, correction. Before I do that, what I'm going to do is this morning, I donated blood. And every so often, I donate a pint of blood to make sure that our blood supply is available for those people who need blood, whether it be for blood transfusions or operations of that sort. Okay. Now, while I was actually finished with my donation and I was given some snacks to eat, I came across that New York City has its first case of monkeypox. So I decided, you know what, this will be the first thing I'll discuss. Now, for the benefit of those of you who are not familiar with monkeypox, I'm going to explain to you what it is. It is a viral infection that manifests a week or two after exposure with fever and other non-specific symptoms and then produces a rash and with lesions that usually last 2 to 4 weeks before drying up, crusting, and falling off. While monkeypox can cause a large number of lesions, the current outbreak some patients experience only a single lesion in the mouth or in the genitals, making it more difficult to differentiate from other infections. In infection before the current outbreak, 1 to 3% of people with the known infection have died without treatment. Now, let me just explain to you how it spread. Monkeypox spreads through close personal, often skin-to-skin contact. This disease can be spread direct contact with rashes or with body fluids on an infected person by touching objects and fabrics that may have been used by someone with monkeypox or through respiratory secretions. Given the unexpected and vast geographical spread of the disease, the actual number of cases is likely to be underestimated. While anyone can get monkeypox today, a vast majority of confirmed cases outside the endemic regions of Africa occurred in young or middle-aged men who had sex with men who had recent sexual contact with new or multiple partners. Okay. So before we start calling this disease another gay disease, okay, let's make it perfectly clear. Um, it is due to close physical content. Excuse me. And what's some examples of close physical content? Hugging, um, holding, um, close dancing, and things of that nature. So I'm going to ask, please do not refer to monkeypox as another gay disease. Because the last thing we want is to give some bigoted people another excuse to be hateful of the alphabet community. Okay. Now, the next thing I'm going to be talking about is, of course, some changes as regards to my channel. Actually, it started this week. Going forward, whenever I do a live call-in show, I will enable the function where if anyone wishes to enter a comment, they have to be a subscriber. Okay. And again, the whole purpose behind that is to try to limit the presence of the trolls. So also, I've been asking anyone if any ladies if they have any topics that they wish me to discuss, to please hit me up in my GM. Going forward, what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to reach out to um, my moderators who happen to be female for any suggestions, because unfortunately no one stepped forward, and the only one that stepped forward was someone that supposedly wanted to be a friend. Okay. That's not the reason why I have an IG channel. I'm not, I mean, there's many ways to make new friends or what have you. Now, the next thing I want to talk about, this is something that happened weeks ago, which happened to with the author Salman Rushdie. Uh, he was in a speaking engagement in Western New York where he was physically attacked. He was stabbed multiple times. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with Salman Rushdie, um, he actually was the author of a literary work which caused a great deal of um, um, controversy regarding satanic verses. In his work, Islam is not painted in a favorable light. And as a result of his literary work, Salman Rushdie um, was under death threats, and they issue a fatwa, meaning it was to be killed on sight. Now, I have one main question. Okay. You're inviting someone, okay, who wrote a literary work, which is under controversy. Where was security involved in all this? I mean, it should not take a members of the audience to substitute the attacker. But perhaps we will never know. And of course, we have the presence of the one and only MK, which is please hit the like button, come in. Yes, I will agree. Thank you very much. It doesn't cost you anything to like. Okay. And of course, by all means, if you have a comment, if you have a subscriber, you're more than welcome to enter it. Okay. Now, another thing that I'm going to be discussing, um, which is an identity crisis. And I see we have, I think her name is now before K-Fit existed. Good evening. How are you doing this afternoon? Now, I understand that you're going to be doing a stream tonight at 8 o'clock. Unless my memory fails me, I think the topic is going to be are there any good women left? So if you are available, you can join the panel and you can discuss it further. Yes. Or you can enter your comments in the chat. Now the problem is when it comes to like the thing called identity crisis, unfortunately you have individuals who have a hard time distinguishing who they are. And it exists in many communities. Okay. Let's see. Just okay. Okay, that was my understanding. Like I said, KP, if you're able, you can join the panel. The link is there. Maybe you can just share some information. Try to encourage my audience to partake in your stream. Now, the fact of the matter is, in every community, you have certain individuals who have a hard time making distinction who they see themselves. And we see this all the time. Okay. For example, in the Latino community, we do have individuals um, who honestly believe that they are one particular phenotype. Now, of course, most of us know that when it comes to the Latino community, uh, we are a mixture of the so-called indigenous people, Africans, and Spaniards. However, you have certain members of the community, of the Latino community, who only identify as being white. You have some of those who only identify for being black. Okay. You can identify in whatever manner that you deem appropriate. What gets to be a problem when it's treated like an obsession. Okay. When you have certain people that they look one way, okay, phenotypically, and then they say that they're the opposite. That's a problem. Okay. Now, yesterday I shared a quote. Okay. And I'm going to repeat it. And the quote is, never underestimate an enemy, nor overestimate an ally. And let me explain to you what do I mean by that. Okay. What is it? It's letting it's telling us that we need to be mindful regarding those that for whatever reason has issue with us, whether it be because of who we are or what we have done or what we have achieved. At the same time, while we do have friends, loved ones, spouses, um, we cannot place an we cannot place a huge dependence on anyone, because human beings, no matter how noble, no matter how outstanding, no matter how sincere we all are, we are all going to fail at some point or another. That is a reality. Okay. Now, another thing, of course, we need to be mindful for, of course, um, we're approaching the end of summer. For some people, it's a happy time. Others, it's not so happy time. And no, it's not because of the climate. It's because as we get into the end of August, going into September, October, and November, um, the days get shorter and the nights get longer. And for some people, it could be um, depressing. Okay. Now, that's something we have absolutely no control over. But I think it will help if we're mindful of the fact that as the seasons change, we need to adapt. Okay. And that could be many things. Getting ready for holidays, getting our children ready to go to school, and being mindful of events like birthdays and Christmas holidays and things of that nature. Okay. And again, the reason why I'm redoing this stream, because unfortunately, and I have to apologize, I cannot apologize enough. Last night I had so many technical difficulties with the stream. Okay. And it could have been another thing. So it could have been the equipment. It could have been a lot of people is using Wi-Fi at the same time. There are many reasons why. So, and I believe it or not, I do take pride in what I do. So for that reason, I decided to redo this whole string. Okay. And of course, we all have to deal with haters. Okay. Why we have haters? There are a number of reasons. Okay. Um, but I'm just going to focus on a couple of reasons. Okay. Um, there are people who hate us. Okay. Let's see. Okay. And of course, we have, okay, yes, the summer is over. Well, okay. Okay. Calendar wise, um, it will soon be over. Okay. So let's put it that way. Calendar wise. Okay. But the fact of the matter is, there are positive aspects to every season. Just like there's positive aspects for summer, there's also positive aspects for the fall. Particularly if you're the type of person that like to see the changing of the colors of the foliage and things of that nature. And then there's for those of you who observe such holidays as Halloween. Okay. And of course, Thanksgiving, and it is harvest festivals and things of that nature. Okay. But back to the topic. Why we have haters? Some of them, it happened to do with jealousy that they have, because either we are achieving something, or they are jealous regarding who we are and what we have done. Okay. And the reality is this: not everyone is going to share your vision. Not everyone is going to appreciate um, you know, what you have achieved and what have you. So the reality is this: when it comes to the haters, just be mindful of the fact that not everyone is going to be pleased with your success. Okay, which brings out the next thing. Every so often, we have what's called a time of reflection. Now, let me explain to you what that is. Okay, now for me, now again, I just got to speak on myself. I'm going to speak about Jose Negron. Um, there's certain times of the year when I would sit down and I will reflect regarding my current situation. I will reflect regarding what's going on in my personal life. Okay, okay. Yeah, well, you know what? Okay. Let's just say, Kfit, um, we have preferences regarding climate. Okay, let us just acknowledge that. And I see here we have the presence of the one and only uh, Not Stall TV. Good afternoon, sir. Thank you very much for stopping by. I do admire, I have to admit, I admire the fact that you managed to keep streams going for 8, 9 hours or so. Okay. I don't know how you do it, but I do admire your uh, fortitude, sir. Okay. But I think it's a testimony of the fact that you managed to keep it going, keep it interesting for that length of time. So shout out to you, sir. Okay. Now, what are my times when I'll think about self-reflection? Usually the weeks before Christmas and the weeks before Easter. Okay. Um, as far as around December, it's an opportunity to take a look back at how my year has gone by. And I see here he put down. Okay. Okay. Excuse me. Okay. I hear you, sir. Thank you very much. Okay. So what I'll do is around the month of December, I will reflect regarding my successes, my failures, um, the strong, the positive points of my life, and the not positive points of my life. And what I would do is I would see what I can learn regarding um, such situations. And I see here we have another comment. Yes, my dad was telling me, okay, okay. So it's a time where I can reflect and then for the future see where I can do better the next time. And I see here we have another comment. Okay, beware of rebranding. I might do some more. Okay, okay. But you know what, K-Fit? Let me just drop the link again. Um, I don't know if you want to share it with my audience, or maybe you'll just share it when you do your live stream later tonight. Okay. So also in December, I reflect regarding what I perceive is the true meaning of Christmas, which is the birth of Jesus Christ. Okay. And then um, around March or April, I will reflect regarding the meaning behind Easter, what is important for me. And again, I say for me, not for anyone else, but for Jose Negron. Okay, now let's take a look. Um, Now, one thing that I have observed um, within the within the last year also, um, the number of individuals which has created YouTube channels, and I consider that to be a good thing because what it does is it allowed individuals um, to create and produce content. Okay, and of course, we have come across many productive YouTube creators, such as Denise Gonzalez with explaining, Ramon with his channel, The Introvert Boricua. We also have Joaquin and his channel, The 18th Letter. We also have Mona Rennes and her channel. Okay. Um, and then we also have other individuals who have YouTube channels for a considerable amount of time. Individuals like the Radical Latino Show, who he's been very successful with his channel and his podcast and all his other ventures. Also, excuse me, we also have Rawtap, who has not produced any content for us considerable length of time. Um, and I see here we have the presence of the introvert Boricua. Good afternoon, sir. Thank you very much for stopping by. Okay. Okay. And of course, we have the one and only Christina with her channel. I know that she has not produced um, as much content um, as she did previously, but she did recently do a blog regarding her travels to the Dominican Republic to visit family, and also other other materials as well. Excuse me. I apologize. It's just I have a frog in my throat. So it's a good thing that we have these um, many multiple YouTube creators because there's a little bit of everything depending what are your interests are. For example, if you're interested in theater, there are platforms that talk about the theater. If you're interested in sports, there are various different platforms that talk about sports. If you are into travel, there are different YouTube creators that produce this content regarding travel. If you're into finances, there are many YouTube creators that do that. Also, if you're into the drama and the wretchedness, there are people that they can satisfy your needs. Okay. Now, of course, most people know that this is not a ratchet channel. This is not a clown channel. What this is, it's an open forum channel. Okay. Meaning anybody has a right to express their point of view in the chat or to join the panel and express their views. I just have two simple rules. Do not overtalk me or anyone on the panel. Do not disrespect me or anyone on the panel. Because what's going to happen is if you do that, you will be blocked It is that simple. Okay. As long as that, okay, excuse me. It will be blocked. Okay, so it is that simple. Okay, I apologize. It's that I forgot this. I just turned on my phone for a moment, but okay. And another one thing I want people to bear in mind is that on my platform, I don't censor people. Okay, and I'm going to explain to you why I don't censor people. If I want people to feel free to allow me to say whatever's on my mind, I have to be able to do the same to them. So that's the reason why. And to be truthfully honest, half the time people censor themselves anyway. So, and I know for a fact that most of the people will catch this stream on the playback, which is perfectly fine. Okay. Again, everyone is more than welcome to enter their comments in the chat or enter the comments after the stream is over. And as always, I will ask people, if you have not done so, please subscribe, like, and hit the bell notification to all. So therefore, you'll be notified when I produce content. Okay. Now, next, as I stated yesterday, next week we're going to do something a little different on my platform. We're going to have a two-part series regarding the Latino community and what we can learn. So the first part is going to be, we're going to ask those of the Latino community that were born outside of the United States to share their personal experiences with those of us who were born on the mainland. And then, so that's going to happen at Tuesday at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, and 7 o'clock Central Standard Time. And on Thursday, it's going to be our turn, meaning us Latinos who were born and raised in the United States, to share with our brother and sister Latinos who were born outside of the U.S. our experiences. And the whole purpose behind that is to try to increase understanding about different aspects of the community. Because the reality is this, unfortunately, when it comes to members of the Latino diaspora, we do not understand a great deal regarding so-called foreign-born Latinos. And they, in turn, they don't know and understand a great deal of us. And sometimes it does produces conflict. So the whole purpose is to try to see if we can understand, learn from each other and understand each other better. And if we can achieve that with a small group, then others will catch on and we can learn to appreciate our Latino brothers and sisters who came from outside the US, and those can appreciate us who are part of the Latino diaspora. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say a few words in Spanish. La próxima semana vamos a tener una serie con respecto al que nosotros podamos aprender sobre nosotros latinos. Y será en dos partes. El martes, a partir de las 8 de la noche, hora de Nueva York, 5 de la tarde, hora Pacífico, específica, y 7 de la noche, hora central, vamos a aprender sobre los latinos que nacieron afuera de los Estados Unidos. Ellos van a compartir con nosotros sus experiencias y es una oportunidad que nosotros podamos aprender del parte de ellos. Entonces, el jueves, a la misma hora, nosotros, los latinos que nacieron aquí en los Estados Unidos, vamos a hablar y compartir con ellos nuestras experiencias. Y el motivo de sobre eso es trata de entender más entre nosotros. Porque uno de los problemas que hay veces que traiga choques es nosotros los latinos que han nacido aquí en los Estados Unidos no saben sobre la experiencia de ellos y ellos tampoco saben nuestras experiencias. Entonces, esa será una oportunidad para compartir ambas experiencias y para evaluar nuestra comunidad in todos los aspectos. So that's what's going to happen next week. Now, of course, everyone is welcome to chime in and join the panel. I just want to let everybody be mindful, excuse me, that the focus will be on us. Okay. Now I see here I've been talking for almost 40 minutes. So the link is in the chat. If anyone wishes to join the panel and express what's on their point of view, they're more than welcome to do so. If anybody else wishes to enter a comment, they can do so as well. So, if no one else, excuse me, I'm sorry, I just have a frog in my throat. No, if no one else wishes to join the panel, I will end the stream. But as I stated before, I truly believe it was necessary for me to redo the stream due to the technical difficulties I was having. Okay. And we all saw that for ourselves. So let's see. Let me just share one more thing. Okay, no problem. So what I would do is I will speak for a few minutes, and then I'll end the stream. But to be perfectly honest, when I thought about doing the stream, I had a feeling that there might be people who may not be able to join the panel, but but they can view the stream in the playback. Okay, so looks like I'm gonna be doing this solo, which is perfectly fine with me. There's gonna be days where I'm gonna be the only one that's gonna be on the panel. Therefore, I'm gonna be the only one talking, which is why it's always a good thing to have notes and to be prepared. So at least when I speak, I sound somewhat intelligent. Now, I'm just going to talk about one more thing, and that's generally regarding myself. When I started my journey as a YouTube creator, to be perfectly honest, there were many things that I was not aware of, and I had to become aware of those things very quickly. Okay. One of the things I have to be mindful of, there's going to be people who do not share my vision. Okay. Also, there's going to be people that going to have a certain amount of jealousy and resentment. Um, Part of it has to do with my content, and part of it has to do with the people I hang with. Another thing that I was not made aware of immediately was the fact that I'm going to have trolls coming in the chat. I'm going to have people who's going to say disrespectful things, um, not so much directed towards me, but directed towards my guests. And unfortunately, there were people that had to be blocked. I don't like doing it, but these are things that I will do, because when everything is said and done, this is a safe space, or better yet, I'm trying to keep it a safe space. And I encourage everyone, and I repeat, everyone, to come to enter their comments in the chat, or to join the panel and express their point of view. There have been times when people have disagreed with what I've said. And again, that's perfectly fine. I don't have a problem with disagreements. In fact, it's been my experience that at times we can learn through our disagreements. As long as we are mindful that everyone has a point of view that's valid. And I said this before, and I'll say it again. I may have some truth, you may have some truth, but together we can find the actual truth. Okay. And let me just remind everyone the thing regarding season 4: separating truth from fiction. Okay. And why did I chose that thing? Because we have come across on a regular basis information that supposedly is truthful and it's not. Some of it is just opinions, others is outright lies. So the whole purpose is to separate the truth from the fiction, which means at times I'm going to be talking about things that it may be uncomfortable for some people. Um, I'm not trying to be controversial, but all I'm going to say is the following. Okay, if I'm discussing a topic where for whatever reason you do not feel comfortable, do not feel obligated to listen to my content. Okay, there'll be multiple opportunities for you to share your views and opinions on my platform. Okay, and there's been topics where it does seem to be a little controversial. Um, one one of the things from season 3, which was considered controversial, was the topic on white supremacy. I mean, the fact of the matter, it does exist. We need to discuss it, and we need to confront it at times. Yes, yes, you are. Yes, yeah, yes, yes, you can discuss it. You can bring up topics. Okay, and if we disagree, we disagree. Okay, as long as we keep it respectful. Okay, and I see here we have the presence um, from the unknown. Yes, like I said before, anyone can bring up a topic. The only thing I ask is let's discuss it logically. Okay? That's all I ask. And at times I have to accept certain truths which at times were not easy for me to deal with. But that's where we separate ourselves from those who are not able to adapt. We have to at times we have to face our realities and admit, okay, I hear you. You know what? And to be perfectly honest, I looked at it as a learning experience. Okay, and I have to learn. You know what? Um, Not to take it so personally, and that's one of the things I have to learn. Okay, and and sometimes things like this need to happen in order for us to change our perspectives. Because, and I'm going to keep it perfectly honest, um, many of us do not like change. Okay, um, we are so used to routines. So therefore, whenever we hear something new or hear something that's unknown, at times we're going to feel threatened. So for that reason, we need to be mindful, and I'm going to apply it to myself. Um, I'm going to need to learn to have a little bit of a more of a thicker skin, and just accept the fact that people have a different point of view. Okay. Uh, yes. Okay. And and to be perfectly honest, um, when it comes to my generation, I have to accept some very distressing truths. Okay. And it's been an experience, but I appreciate it in the sense that I'm able to admit where I overreacted. I have when to admit that I was wrong and that I have to let certain perceptions go. So the fact of the matter is, at times we need a wake up call to be mindful of the fact that at times what we thought or what we would believe was incorrect. And that's where the maturity comes in. Whenever you are willing and able to accept where you were wrong, okay? And I see K fits it as being able to admit your error is growth. Yes, I fully agree. And I have to admit, there have been times where I overreacted. Okay. But going forward, I'm going to try to learn from those situations where I overreacted. So therefore, I don't have the same reaction. So the next time when someone says something where it doesn't exactly, how should I say it, agree with, I can say, okay, I may not agree with what you say, but I'm going to listen to what you say because maybe I can learn something different. Okay. And I see here K-Fit put in another comment, which is, you're never too young or old to learn, period. That is 100% true. Okay. And as long as I am permitted to live, there's going to be times where I'm going to need to be humble, admit when I'm wrong, learn the lesson, and not repeat the same mistake. And I see here we have another comment on the unknown, which is that's very mature though. Unlike a lot of people in this space, but I'm aware of a few YouTubers in spaces like you, K-Fit, Denise, and etc. that has maturity to feed off the chaos and the dysfunction. Okay. And I said, I mean, I'm glad that they are. Okay. Well, okay. When it comes to creators like Latin explaining, um, K-Fit, the Intuitive Verigua, the 18th Ladder, the Radical Latino. Okay. All right. Okay. Um, most of us are able to function with a certain amount of maturity. And of course, I have made my mistakes. But the key is to learn from them. Okay. Once I learn, it will make me a better person. And that's the good thing. Unfortunately, we're living in an age where the individuals, both male and female, are not able to take accountability for their actions, admit where they erred, and admit where they need correction. Okay. Okay. And again, I'm going to make this perfectly clear. I'm referring to both male and female because unfortunately, at times, some people attribute a bad trait to a particular group of people or sex. So I want to make it perfectly clear we're all guilty of that at one time or another. But in any case, I do appreciate the interaction in the chat. Okay. And I understand that people are not able to join the panel because there are people who are busy. This is Saturday. So for a lot of people, this is a day where they do chores. They clean the house, they do laundry, they do grocery shopping. Also, those who have children, it's a day where they'll spend time with the children, whether they go to the beach or go to the park, or maybe they'll have some sort of family activity. So the fact that no one's available to join the panel, it's it's understood. It's understood. Okay. And the fact of the matter is, I do appreciate the interaction. Okay. And I do appreciate all of it. All of it. Whether it be MK, whether it be the unknown, whether it be Intro Riqua, whether it be KFIT, or what have you. So, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to wrap this up. Um, I've spoken for close to an hour, and I just want to say thank you very much for allowing me to enter into your devices to have an open chat, okay, and to share with you um, some things that are on my mind. Now, I just want to let everybody know that on Fridays, actually, I'm at the okay, okay. Oh yes, you know what? I might, you know what? I know that sounds like a good idea. You know what? Maybe on Saturdays I'll do my stream like about 4 or 5 o'clock. Thank you very much. And of course, before we leave, we have to give a huge shout out to MK, who is celebrating his birthday. Happy birthday, MK! And I believe he's 30. So I just want to say, God bless you, MK. May the good Lord bless you with many years of health and life. May the good Lord smile upon you and protect you and Denise and all your loved ones from all the crazy people that's out there. Okay? Of course, I'm looking forward to my birthday, which is October 7th, and I'll make the big six hole. Okay? For me, it's meaningful because I'm approaching the later years of my life. The years of my life when I'm thinking about what I'm going to do when I retire and then my plans for retirement because sooner or later I will leave the working world and enjoy my retirement. Okay. And I just hope when when it's time for my retirement party, hopefully some of the people in the audience will be present for my retirement party. When that day comes, I will let everybody know regarding the particulars regarding the date I will retire. First of all, and of course we have that's so true. So first of all, what I'll do is I'll DM the people in our collective, and then I'll publish it here on my platform. Um, when I retire, it's going to be uh, bittersweet in a way. Okay, and I see we have another comment. Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Unknown. Okay, so oops, sorry. So and the fact of the matter is, now I learn to appreciate. Okay, I said most people don't make it, but we have to celebrate the ones that do. And then Caper says, I was going to say when you will retire. Okay. You know what? To be perfectly honest, I don't know. Okay. Um, the plan is to work at least 3 more years. Okay. Now I know I have people who said to me I should retire now. I should retire now. Okay. But realistically speaking, um, my job is not physically demanding. It's more of a sit down job where I'm sitting behind a computer. So, number one. Number two, I'm one of those crazy people that actually likes his job. Okay. So, but believe me, when it's my time to retire, everyone will know. And I'm sure K Fit, our local, will have a nice celebration for me when I retire. Considering the many years that I've given to our local as a union rep and as a trustee. But in any case, believe me, everyone will know, and hopefully Somebody will be there um, to wish me my next stage in my life journey, which will be retirement. And one thing I'm seriously thinking of doing is to study to become a deacon. So therefore, I can devote the last years of my life serving the community and also providing spiritual guidance to those who will receive it. So just want to let you know that most likely the next time we're going to be live is going to be on Tuesday, um, 8 o'clock. I might, okay, okay. I don't know. I might or might not do a last minute shrink tomorrow. Um, if there's any new developments regarding what's happening with monkeypox or anything newsworthy, okay. Is the 18th ever having? Okay, you know what? I don't know. I don't know when he's going. Okay, I don't know when he's going to do a stream. I think he mentioned something about that possibly doing a stream tonight. I don't know, but I would suggest the following to those of you who have already subscribed to the 18th letter, please set the bell notification to all. So therefore, whenever he does prepare content, you will be notified. And what happens is 30 minutes before um, anyone does a perform a live stream or upload any video, people are notified. So I would suggest if you have not done so, please set the notification to on. So that being said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to end this stream the same way I always do, which is the following. Do not let the errors of the past damage your future. And we must do everything we can to minimize our contact with a mentally and intellectually challenged, because if we fail to do so, we will be infected by their stupidity and massive insanity. And as always, I do appreciate all of you who have allowed me to enter in your devices and give me something where you can never get back, which is your time. The fact of the matter is, you could have, in the 60 plus minutes that the stream has been on, you could have been doing 55 million things. But the fact of the matter is, you saw fit to listen to me speak my point of view. And to that, I'm forever grateful. And I thank all of you very, very much. So I hope to see you again in the near future in another stream. That being said, this has been another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron. Take care, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and please be safe out there. Take care. Peace.
Be strong. Be strong. Be strong.